Good set of lungs, isn't she? Maria Callas. Bit of a diva, but who cares if the song's as beautiful as that? So my dad would always sing la, 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 and so that's to you, Dad. And I know my family will all be listening on catch up on the Global Player app because it's a brilliant app. Obvs. Right, there could have been any number of people we could have chosen to sing this next song. Could have been Paul Potts, could have been Pavarotti, could have been Placido Domingo, could have been the great Caruso. Look him up, Google him. Anyone heard of Caruso next door? What an even fanciful question to ask. No, Harry? Have you ever heard an opera? Been to the opera? No? You've heard of Paul Potts? Okay, that's a start. Fred? Been to the opera? No? Aaron on a Friday? Have you been to the opera? No. Oh, you should have scowled at me. So here is Nessun Dorma, sung by the great. And you have to say, because he's just got this wonderful, wonderful voice, and he's been without his sight, I think, all his life. And it is, of course, Andrea Bocelli with Nessun Dorma, translated, None Shall Sleep. So I understand that there are certain tunes and moving things, but to go and sit with, sometimes without even an interval, for 3 hours watching, and I looked at the tickets, the cheapest price you can get for The Handmaid's Tale, which is what the English National Opera are doing at the Colosseum at the moment, 70 quid. That's the cheapest, and it goes up to 200 quid for a decent view. Why is it so expensive? Well, they've got to pay a live orchestra. That's their problem, isn't it? They always have a live orchestra. I'm not quite sure in this digital age why they need a live orchestra. It feels like a little bit sort of Industrial Revolution type. But anyway, that's the way it is. There are some wonderful, wonderful songs. If you want to tell me, we'll try and pick some out, because the boys are absolutely a flurry of activity looking up the interweb to try and get songs out for your delectation. Here is Ian at Paris. Good morning. Bonjour.
Good morning, bonjour, ça va?
Ça va bien. And tell me about you used to work in the opera industry. Tell me more.
Yeah, I used to work as a truck driver for the Welsh National Opera, Opera North.
Bet they could sing.
And some of the English National Opera, we used to help them out as well.
Right, okay.
There's a lot more to the industry than just the musician.
Right, good. Tell me about it, because I need educating this out. Go for it.
When you saw the opera,
yeah,
you can be looking up to sort of 15, 20 truckload of set and equipment. It's a massive, massive thing to do. And obviously with that, there's all the costs.
Does it have to be that big? Can it be pared down somewhere?
Personally, I think it could be pared down.
Yeah.
I've toured other theatre shows, a lot of ballet, that don't use such massive sets.
Yeah.
That just use cloth.
Yeah, well, the ballet,
well.
the ballet's another thing I just can't get into at all. I've been to a couple, and it just leaves me completely cold, and I want to warm to it. I feel I need to sort of embrace both of these artistic ventures, but I just can't.
Ian, you've got to try one ballet in particular.
Go on.
They're called Le Trocadero de Monte Carlo.
Trocadero de Monte Carlo, right?
Yes, and they're a group of guys that are based in New York, but they tour the UK every 3 years.
Yeah.
They do a parody of ballet, and it's hilarious. It's slapstick comedy.
Okay, and just so give me that name again.
Le Trocadero de Monte Carlo. They're known as the Trocs.
The Trocs. And do traditional opera buffs hate them?
Well, I wouldn't like to say. I'm sure that the technique with the ballet, they're technically perfect.
All right.
Not that I would know. Not in
Okay. Well, listen. You've started to interest me, but my interest is piqued a tiny bit. There's a little ruffling going on in my interest, Trey. But you have asked for a song from an opera that probably most people have heard of, by Joe Green, La Traviata. This is the 1993 version from Brindisi by the great late Pavarotti. That's all we're here for. All we want to do, if one person, and it's happened already, smiles a bit more than they would normally do this early in the morning, our work here is done. I salute you, Ian. And why do you live in Paris, by the way? Are you on tour?
No, mate. I'm heading back to UK.
All right.
So, yeah.
Say hello to Peter Allen for us, our revered correspondent. Thank you very much indeed. Or adieu. That's Ian in Paris. It's wonderful. Stop taking the mick out of Lancastrian, says Phil from Twister. No, I thought he sounded more Yorkshire to me than Lancashire. I'm probably wrong. Right, so you're all sending us bits in. I'm sort of doing flag signals. What do they call that? Is it semaphore with all the flags? What do they call that? I'm sending flag signals to the boy band through the window saying, have you got this one? Have you got that one? So we've got a load of requests. And give us a ring if you want, but we will try and dig out some stuff just to kind of uplift you a little bit. Because that's what opera is, isn't it? Opera is an intense sensation for the senses, isn't it, really? You know, that song always reminded me of my dad, the one I played from Sanson. You listen to, have we got any Caruso? Did you dig any Caruso out? He's like, I can't remember which era he was in, but it's got to be pre-war. I would have thought, and everyone regarded him as the greatest singer, perhaps ever. But then, you know, how do you gauge who's the perfect singer? How do you gauge Pavarotti and Paul Potts, for example? There's one for you, Harry. Paul Potts, yeah. Operatic arias, says Steve. Ian, the Pearl Fishers duet. I don't know what that is, but the boys might have a little interweb search on that one. And Katie says, morning Ian, please play Song to the Moon from Antonin Dvorak's opera Rusalka. I love it. It's basically the Little Mermaid singing to the moon. You don't get that in Steven Spielberg, do you? It's 4:15.
This is LBC.
The plant near the reception desk at Axel's Auto Care is loving life. That's because Barclaycard covers 50% of Axel's card reader rental fees for the whole year. So he can give 100% to other parts of his business, starting with a proper watering can. What's good for small business is good for everyone. Barclaycard Payments.
50% of card reader rental fees until 31st of December 2024 and select products apply by 30th of April. Application approval depends on financial circumstances and borrowing history. T's and C's apply.
Whether they're a flower lover or passionate about plants, sing flowers and plants. Amazing every Valentine's Day.
Hey, forget those itty-bitty, don't mind me, nothing to see here little sales. Because at Big Motoring World, bigger is always better. Save thousands on your next used car in our big winter sale. Choose from up to 9,000 used cars in stock and reserve yours online for just £99. The sale ends soon at Big Motoring World, Enfield and Wimbledon. See bigmotoringworld.co.uk.
Big Motoring World.
If you're an older person living alone and need
a bit of help around the house, some kindness, companionship,
and peace of mind overnight,
there are younger people happy to provide all these things
in return for somewhere affordable to live. At 2 generations. They match older householders
with younger housemates.
and they vet all applicants thoroughly before placing them.
So, if you need living help and support,
Go to 2generations.co.uk.
This is LBC with Ian Payne. Call 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
I want you to convince me why I should go to the opera. Let's see if we can convince the boy band. Harry's on drums today. Lead singer's Freddie, obviously, and Aaron on a Friday, which is an exceptional bonus, Aaron, to see you on lead guitar. He's answering the phones today, so just if you ring in, say, hi, Aaron, on a Friday, how are you? All right? And that'll make his day. What will make your day? Listening to a little bit of opera. We're talking about the opera because, we shamelessly decide to just play music and talk about cars when we find a story that has a sort of vague newsworthy value. So today we've shamelessly picked out this story this week that the English National Opera have gone on strike, complaining about the way they're going to be paid in future, and it means that the orchestra, the musicians, because it's always a live orchestra, the set people, the performers, they're all decided to down tools. And at the moment, the English National Opera are performing The Handmaid's Tale. It's quite a strange opera to do, but there you go. Why take a brilliant book and turn it into an opera? I don't know. But anyway, that's what they're doing. So if you've been to the opera, I want you to tell me why. But I think the great thing about opera is that there are certain songs that you hear and you just go, yes. And a lot of it is to do with the fact that it's associated with something else. So, for example, Zadok the Priest, okay, which was composed by George Frederick Handel for the coronation of George II in 1727, for those who are listening at the back. Always played at the coronation, so we've obviously had it, King Charles's. But it's also the Champions League theme, and you probably recognise it from that. So that's where you kind of, or the British Airways ad, you know, which is from... Oh, what's that from? It's from that opera that was in The Hunger. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, here's another. Did somebody ask for this? So if you're trying to educate, my dad tried to educate me. We had a big discussion once about classical music against pop music, and I said to him, who will be remembered longest, do you think, the Beatles or Beethoven? And he sort of laughed and metaphorically patted me on the head and sort of went, you know nothing, as if to say classical music will always endure longer than them. And I was going, well, I don't know about that. So anyway, here is Enrico Caruso. Did we get his dates? Who was, let's say he was in the early part of the 20th century, Caruso. And here he is with a recording of O Sole Mio. Please. Hi, Victoria. I don't know why you think I'm Victoria. Anyway, hi, this is Victoria. Oh, I see. Please play The Queen of the Night from the Magic Flute by Mozart. Can we put that down as a request, Fred? The Queen of the Night from the Magic Flute by Mozart. Morning, Ian. Oh my God, you're as bad as Rishi Sunak. He's trying to get rid of musicians. Live concerts act, says Rose. I'm not really. I'm only teasing about that. I think it's amazing that they do. The effort and the hugeness of an opera is amazing. I just wish they would make the actual story, the plot, a bit more sort of naturalistic and believable. That's all. Cliff's in Thailand. What do you want to hear, Cliff? And why?
Two things. Yes, I like Pavarotti singing with Barry White. You're my first, you're my last,
What?
everything. The YouTube of it is fantastic.
Pavarotti with Barry White?
Yeah,
You're
it's
joking.
unbelievable. Watch it on YouTube. It makes your blood.
You're my first, you're my last.
Yeah, but when he sings it, it's good. But then when Pavarotti sings it in Italian, mate, I'm telling you, that is absolutely mind-boggling.
A duet between Pavarotti and Barry White. And were they on stage together? Did they record together, or did they do sort
There was
of
probably
Zoom?
100,000 people watching it in the audience.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
he's wearing a dinner suit. Barry White is obviously in his shiny suit. It's incredible. It's incredible. They go mad, the crowd.
Do they? So
Yeah.
was it a concert? Whose concert was it? And who made the guest appearance?
I love watching it on YouTube. It's just brilliant. I always put it on when I get a chance. When he kicks in, Barry White's good, but when Pavarotti sings his bit,
Really?
the same thing. He sings it in Italian, mate. It really is.
All right. Well, shall we be the judge of that? Here is Pavarotti and Barry White with My First, My Last, My Everything.
Tall buildings, as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun. As she puts her hand in mine, we wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, summer sky, it was the best we